And the problem with looking around is that you don't always find what you're looking for. Good morning, traders. Today I'm in Quebec City. As you can imagine, it's pretty hot. It's warm, it's beautiful. Just kidding, it's like really cold. There's snow everywhere and stuff. But welcome back. What's up, traders? Welcome back to Quebec City. Today I want to share with you some advice if you're looking for a trading strategy right now. I see this is an issue for a lot of people right now, whether they are starting out or a little bit more advanced. They want to find the thing that's going to fit their style, and that's totally fine. But I want to share with you why that doesn't really work as an approach and what you should do instead to make sure that you find what you need to find and start to apply it and ultimately see result in your trading. Now, the first thing I want you to understand why this approach of looking for strategy is wrong. You might be reading blog posts, trying to search on different websites, listening to podcasts, watching videos about people's strategies, how they trade. And the problem with this is that I've never found anything myself when I was looking around. I could look for videos and podcasts and blog posts, but I would always find an excuse for why I didn't want to trade something, for why that was not a good fit for me, for something I didn't like about it. Or I would maybe apply something, but just not long enough to see result. And that got me stuck in the place of looking around and finding stuff that I never ended up finding. And I want to make sure that you guys search for something. Yeah, you look for your strategy, but you look in a proper way so that you find it and you start to apply it after that. So a couple of years ago, I shared with you guys, I was looking for a business idea, something I could work on to be able to gain more freedom. And trading was something I was doing back then, but not very well. I was wondering whether I should do trading more, focus on that, or start something else. And I could read online, I could try to find different websites, different blog posts, or different videos talking about what business to start, which one was the best, whether trading was really the thing I was supposed to do the most. And that lasted some time. I didn't find any answers online, or in books, or in anything else. Until I got to go to events and try to meet people in the business I want to start. And I got to realize, well, this is not really the business I want to start. It doesn't look too appealing for me. It's like a business where you do something, but then you don't help anyone. So I said, well, that won't work. I won't do this. And I had to go to several events. I had to travel from Hong Kong to China to go to an event and then even visit factories. So I understood that this was not what I wanted. This was not the business for me at all. And it might work for some people, but not for me. So not my style. Now I had to take action to see that this didn't work for me. And the same thing goes with trading. I found out that you get to see what's best for you, what's your best strategy, what's your best style, what's your best everything, by trying things out, by testing stuff, and seeing by yourself, by applying it, what is best for you. And that is, in my opinion, the only way to go. You could read, of course, blog posts and stuff like we talked about before, but you won't get to the point of clarity, and that's what I think you should focus on. Think of this a little bit like climbing a staircase. Like you put a step or you put a leg on the next stair, but you don't put all your weight on it. Like you don't fall on the next step. You just like put your leg, try to slowly go on the next stair, and over time you get to climb and you get to become better. Now you will have to try things, test things out, and this might make you go down or go up. You need to decide if it's going up. Well, you will jump on that. You will apply this to become better. And multiple times in my trading career, you could call it that way. Multiple times I had to work on things. I had ideas that I tried, and sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't work, and I was like worse than before. But when they worked, I implemented them and I started doing them more and more so that I would kind of climb as opposed to just staying at the same level. It's like having a 2-floor house, but you always stay at the first level. Why? Why would you do it? Like you want to go to other levels, you want to go forward, you want to improve. And that's what you should think about trading. So you got to try things out. And that for me, when I first started trading and first researched like strategy and stuff, meant I had to try multiples of them so that I would be able to know really what works and what doesn't. Not just like how I feel, not just like how I think it performs based on the day result, but based on some time. And that's how I got to see what I liked and what I didn't like, and what was well for me, what was not well for me, because I tried like a lot of things over time. And this might take time. It's not for sure the sexiest approach, because you do a lot of things, you have to put in a lot of time sometimes at first, but eventually it pays off. Eventually you get to see that some things work well for you, some things don't. And you just have to accept it and you do more of what works, do less of what doesn't. And that's, I think, all there is to it in that case. But I want to share something more to this, something to maximize your result here. A lot of people are gonna try things sometimes and they're gonna apply it and see what works best for them. But then they won't get to that next step, which is what you want to do if you're really serious about this and if you really treat this like a business. Is you want to document whatever you do and the results you get. So you try a new style, document, meaning put in a journal, write down in your journal what you did, what you tried, and what happened, what was the result. And over time, you get to develop this kind of notebook of ideas of things you tried and the results so that you can decide what worked best. Because oftentimes, to be honest, we forget what we tried, or we forget the result of what we tried, or we flip in our mind the result. So we might think it didn't work well at all, but it turns out it worked like pretty well. We just didn't realize, or we flipped this over time. It went from being good in the moment to later we get affected by our mindset and we change our view of things. That happens a lot. So if you document, you get the true picture of things, and you can then go back and say, well, this did this, this did that, and then you compare objectively what your results were. So take note of everything you try, take note of everything you do, and over time you'll get to find, without a doubt, your perfect strategy for your style. Hope that makes sense, guys. Comment below what you thought on this video. I hope this was useful. If I can do anything to help you out, comment below, let me know for sure. And here are a few comments from the past video. I appreciate you guys once again for leaving your comments. Subscribe if it's not done yet, and I'll catch you back here tomorrow. Ciao.